Here on the Rural Radio Network Roadshow, we're at B&C Steel in Gering, Nebraska. Lewis Reinhardt joins us. He's the Chief Operating Officer. Lewis, I want to go back in time to when B&C Steel started here in Gering, Nebraska. I know your family got kind of the full ownership a couple decades later, but bring me back in time, how things got started.
So B&C was incorporated in 1946, so we're coming up on 80 years here next year. Kind of one of those post-World War II startups, and it went from there. B&C stands for Baumgartner and Cannon, Hank Baumgartner, Shorty Cannon. Also, I'll have to take you out and show you the some of the history pictures.
Yeah.
We didn't cover that. So, but it basically grew as a Quonset dealer, selling those rounded farm buildings that are galvanized that you see all over the state of Nebraska. Us and others. Obviously, we have other competition in eastern Nebraska. We've grown into a pre-engineered metal building company where we design our own buildings. We used to sell components and Quonset dealers, so we're actually manufacturing every piece and part in the early times.
Have you gotten away now from the Quonset buildings?
You still service them.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, you still have you still have the farmer that is third generation that's got an old Quonset. Those were solid buildings. They were built well, and they're still out there and active. So yeah, we we'll have to find a panel or trim or a slide door part and take care of it. We try to talk them into a new building, but we also...
It still works. They don't want to get rid of it.
Yep. We'll continue to service them as long as they're standing. So,
do you have any records that show how much a new Quonset building costs back in those days?
Oh, man. It was a different time. I'm sure we do have a record. Yeah. I've got to dig that out. But yeah, I mean, you're buying a building for $2,000 back then. So,
well, bring me over the years. Your grandfather got involved in the sales department, correct?
Yeah. So my grandfather, he was actually an Air Force fighter pilot, and he served in the Korean War. Shortly after that, he started selling Ford tractors and did a small stint with that in Nebraska, and then he came to work for B&C Steel as a salesman in the early 50s. And as the company grew, he continued to buy a little bit of stock into the company. Every extra $100 that he had, he would put towards the company, and became a partner in the 60s. And then my father came back to work with him in the early 80s. And then they bought out the last partner and became sole owners in the late 80s. You
got involved in 2009, is that right?
Yeah, 2009 is when I officially came back. Yeah. I worked some summers here, worked out in the roll form shop when I was 16. That's actually how I learned that coffee was a good thing when you got to come to work at 6 a.m. Thought I never would drink that stuff, but boy, it perked me up. And, yeah. So I had some experience, got to know a lot of the guys. Some of them are still here from when I'm 41 now, so that was 25 years ago when I got my first taste of this place. But then ultimately, after college years, I came back to work here when I was 24 years old, and that's when I've been here ever since.
So from Quonset buildings to now here in 2025, what all can B&C Steel do?
Oh man, I mean we're excited for the direction of the company. It's just been really blessed with a lot of success over the. We've talked about it for years, like how can business be better, and then it does get better. We've continued to grow our team, and we've got vast experience in our engineering and drafting and sales department, where we can really take on some complicated projects that a lot of our competition won't go up for. But we compete well with some of the other great manufacturers in the state, the Chief, Balin, down on the eastern side. So we're a smaller outfit, but we're very capable, and really have gotten into some nice projects over the years.
Tell me about the geography that you primarily serve.
So we kind of have the Panhandle locked down as far as pre-engineered metal buildings. We're very active in western South Dakota, Rapid City, Black Hills area. We've built some great contacts up there. North Dakota, actually eastern North Dakota, really good customer up there in the Fargo area. And Minneapolis area, we have a commercial contact up there. And those are all served through our local office here. We have a sales force. We have a guy on the Front Range, Chris Herron, and he's primarily, involved in everything on the Front Range, mostly commercial, a lot of churches, not as much ag business there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he services into Wyoming, Cheyenne, Casper, even into Gillette, a lot of different areas in Wyoming where you get a lot more energy business and things like that. And we got a new guy, Jordan O'Brien, that we hired here a couple of years ago. He's in Clear Lake, Iowa, so he's doing a fantastic job. He works primarily in agricultural business, but he's noticed that we have a lot more capability than his old employer, so he's in the hangars now and kind of rubbing his elbows with the commercial contractors and really expanding our business out that direction. And then Ernie Shoup we have down in the Four Corners area of Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, Arizona. So he lives in Farmington, New Mexico. And Ernie's a good one. He's been with us a long time. He's developed a good business. He's had his 2-3 best years down there the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. For the sales folks, is most of the business developed through contractors and relationships in those places that you mentioned? Is that kind of the primary, or do you work directly with some producers or businesses?
Yeah, it is. We do both.
Okay.
I mean, being in our community here in Scottsbluff, we've got some great relationships with just lifelong friends, mm-hmm. and that are other business owners that we like to facilitate and help them through different projects. To mention a few, you've got Kelly Bean, Floyd's Sales and Truck, Paul Reed Construction, among many others. And same with farmers and local, entrepreneurs. We'll work with them, and they'll come in and we'll help with budgets, and just have a lot of experience doing that in our area. Outside of our area, though, we really focus on relationships with contractors. A lot of folks will call them dealers, but we just look at how we keep their business and earn their business is we just focus on service. I mean, there's a lot of metal building manufacturers out there, but I feel like with our being a smaller manufacturer with only 60 employees, we're able to, if Kevin from Premier Buildings, for example, needs something and he can't get a hold, he's got my cell phone number and he can give us a call and we'll take care of him. So we just work for that relationship.
How important, continuing what you're talking about, nobody ever wants hail to fall or pick up, hit a shed after you get something built. But how important is maintaining that relationship with the service that your clients know they can call you directly and you can help them out? How important of an aspect has that been over the years?
Absolutely. No, it is important. It's funny you mentioned hail not falling. I was talking to Rebel earlier. She's from Valentine. I was just coming back from Valentine. I got hailed on twice on the way home.
You guys have something going on out here where the hail falls more often, I think, in this part of the state than any other. Yeah, the
insurance carriers are running from us too. Uh-huh. But yeah, I mean, we're here to service our buildings, and I think that's something that a lot of people appreciate in this area. They see we've been here since 1946. We have a reputation. We have a reputation in the community. We love to serve our community. And we've been able to do that based on our success of late. But yeah, we build a reputation on taking care of the little things. If somebody runs into a door jam or, backs out and hits the garage door, or hail or wind or whatever it may be, we're definitely here to service that.
Let's talk people for a second. You mentioned you guys have 60 employees here in this region of this state, and you gave us a plant tour. It's pretty cool to see you interacting with your employees, folks that have been here for a few years, but several of them I noticed. I mean, we're talking 40-plus years for a couple of employees that don't look that old. They've been here since perhaps some of their teenager years. People have to be a core reason, I'm sure, for growth over the years, and having good people work for you makes a big difference, right?
It does. It's honestly, it's the most. I mean, we can buy all the new equipment, we can add square footage, but we truly believe in treating our people. You know, that they're our number one asset, are our people. And that's what builds our success ultimately. So, yeah, we do profit sharing. We try to take care of our people. We have a very nice commission base for our salesmen, so where they can, kind of be let loose and be motivated to work for what they sell. And I mean, ultimately, we just try to invest in them, treat them right. It's kind of one of those places too where if you do your job and you do what's expected of you, we're not too, oh, you're 3 minutes late today, or oh, what do you mean you want to take off this afternoon? We're reasonable. We try to. We realize that everybody has lives, and we're here to have some fun, as much fun as you can have at work, right? But we try to get through the day and be joyful instead of hating your life when you go home every night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, take me back a little bit if you can. I'm curious, what you remember from your grandfather when he was buying shares, $100 at a time as money came in. Your dad get involved in the business, and now you. What was your grandpa's why, and does that still remain true for why you've joined the family business at this point?
I think his why was, he just got out of the military service, and he had a wife and he had 5 kids, and he needed to work his butt off.
Yeah.
And he's always he always was a gifted businessman. And I guess for where he started in here, I suppose it was just motivation. He's kind of a self-made man. We talk about that in that time of American history, and that's who he was. And my dad, he was his only son. My dad had 4 older sisters, and none of them were interested. So by default, he brought Jim in here and got him going. And he, 80s were a really tough time. They almost closed the doors a couple times. I mean, it was very touch and go, but they persevered, made it through, and the 90s, I mean, every decade since has just been phenomenal for our growth here. So,
well, it's cool. It's been fun to visit with you, learn more about the family history, become a family business here, and thanks for the tour of the plant. Pretty neat to see everybody out there working. If people are interested, getting in touch with you guys, you've got a cool website where you can see lots of the different projects and pictures of what you've been able to build so far. Is that a good place to direct people, is the website?
It is. It's currently under construction. I think we're working on unleashing our new website, but yes, it's a great starter point. It's got all our contact information. If you'd like to call our office, and we can get you associated with anybody in our team. So.
All right. I said that was my last question, but then I looked at the website and I remembered. You kind of tell me the story about, of course, you can be found all throughout the U.S., but as well as there's 2 other locations where you've been able to sell these. What's the most unique place B&C Steel building is?
Oh, so the most unique place would be Kazakhstan. In the 90s, we sent a giant building over there.
What's it used for?
You have to go with the company. You have to go with somebody older than I on that question. I don't remember entirely. I think it was to do with some kind of energy. But maybe it was uranium. I believe it was uranium. Yes. But we had a couple guys go over there. Our sales manager at the time and our quality control flew him over there for a couple weeks trying to help these guys, put up a building that they weren't familiar with. And they had hand tools, and it was quite the trip. I guess it was about 110 degrees. So. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on that trip, to be honest. I was probably only about 10 years old at the time. So.
That's quite something. Well, you can see more about B&C Steel online at their website. It is b-csteel.com. We've visited with Louis Reinhardt. He's the Chief Operating Officer of the company as we're here on our Rural Radio Network Roadshow.